Generally, two schools of thought out here. One school of thought is to go with a little bit bigger, heavier pack and perhaps indulge yourself with equipment, maybe more clothes, more food, and what have you. The other school of thought is to go lighter and a bit more Spartan with your equipment. Now, I subscribe to the latter school where you go a little bit lighter. So I've got a real light pack. It's a Gregory ultra light pack. It's a little over 4 pounds. As I understand, it's one of the lightest packs on the market. And it's an internal frame, which generally internal frames are lighter. They are generally considered to be more comfortable. However, they make you sweat. The wraps on them they make you sweat a little bit more, and they're not as convenient to pack. But anyway, this is my pack. It's a by the way, I ordered this out of a black and white catalog. All my friends out here give me a bunch of grief about the color of this thing, but I did not know. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. This pack has a top compartment that you access from the back here, and I kind of keep my incidental stuff like my maps and my Thru Hiker's Handbook and my data book and toilet paper and my rain cover and candy bars that I eat throughout the day. I generally keep stuff in here that I need to access during the day, which avoids having to access the interior compartment. And the zipper for that is back here. Now, as far as water bottles, I don't drink that much water, so I just have 2 old Army canteens, and I also have the old-fashioned military cups on the canteens, which suffices my mess kit. They will hold whatever meal, whatever serving size I need, and they'll fit on top of a stove quite conveniently. And when I can carry them on the outside of the canteen like that, it saves room in the pack. And I have a couple of those. Now, inside the pack, I try to compartmentalize. In other words, I try to use ditty bags to contain whatever stuff I have, so I don't have a bunch of loose stuff in here. Another wrap, well, as I mentioned before, one of the wraps on the internal frame is difficult to load and unload. An external frame has compartments and what have you that you can access from the outside of the pack. Well, on the internal frame, you've got to go down through the top every time you need something. Anyway, what I've got here is I prefer moccasins. A lot of people prefer tennis shoes or flip-flops. I prefer moccasins for being around camp in the evenings. I have a 3/4 length Thermarest self-inflatable mattress. Everybody says, well, they prefer full length because they like to have enough length for the feet and what have you. Well, in my size and like a stature, I only need a 3/4 length Thermarest. This is a little pouch I have that contains my camera and letters and writing stuff, and also my medical stuff. I don't care, but some tape and some band-aids and some moleskin. I don't have a real big first aid bag or necessities. What I do have is in here. This is my food bag that is kind of heavy. Because it's the first part of the week, and generally I'll carry maximum be 8 or 10 pounds of food. I prefer to buy food in whatever community or town I'm in, as opposed to having food sent to me on my mail drops. I don't like to be obligated to a particular mail drop schedule, and I don't like to be obligated to a particular menu. I like to be able to vary my menu, and buying food as I go along the way allows me to do that. Now, I use a Peak 1 camp stove, which is a popular stove, perhaps not the most popular, but certainly one of the most popular. It is a it operates on Coleman fuel or white gas. This particular model can operate on unleaded gas, I understand. Some guys run unleaded gas through their stoves. I prefer this stove because it's a little bit heavier than most of the other stoves, but I prefer it because you can adjust the flame, and it's real simple. It's virtually idiot proof, and you're talking to an idiot when it comes to these contraptions. So I prefer the Peak 1. Next I have my my sleeping gear. Initially I started with a zero rated bag, sleeping bag, back in Georgia. I was back in April, and then I got a higher rated bag, a 35 degree rated bag, and then it got real hot, so now all I have is a little sleeping bag liner and a sheet, which suffices fairly well. Here lately it's gotten kind of cool, kind of nippy a couple of nights, and I've had to wear everything I'm carrying in order to stay warm. But I prefer this route because it's smaller and it's lighter. This is a little ditty bag I have from all of my just my toothbrush and pins and cord and just what flashlight, just incidental stuff. Then I have my well, actually I wrap up my clothes in this in my ground cloth, and I wrap up my sleeping bag in a trash bag. That the worst thing in the world is to have wet clothes and wet sleeping bag, in my opinion, and I prefer to take extra precautions to make sure they stay dry. So in addition to my rain cover on my pack and the pack, I'll put them in a trash bag or in my ground cloth to make sure they stay dry. Anyway, I've got my clothes here. I personally carry a couple of pairs of shorts, 2 or 3 t-shirts, 1 long shirt, 1 long pair of rain pants, which suffices as my city pants, and 2 or 3 pairs of socks, and then a rain jacket. Okay, I prefer to carry a tarp. Most guys or most folks carry tents, but seeing as I like to go light and I prefer to stay in the shelters, I don't tent out very often. Matter of fact, in probably 3 months I've tented out 3 times. So I prefer to go with a little tarp. It's a little nylon tarp. I've got some little stakes here, and the whole kit and caboodle weighs perhaps a pound, maybe a little bit more than a pound. Most tents, so the lightest tent I know of is about 3 pounds, and most of them are a little bit heavier than that. And that's really about it. Fuel bottle, I go with the smallest fuel, one of the smallest fuel bottles available. There again, I feel like, you know, the convenience of going light with the smaller bottle justifies not having a whole lot of fuel. It is a bit of a pain sometimes. I have to hustle up Coleman fuel in town, but that's my preference. Anyway, totally, first part of the week I think I'll be around 35 pounds loaded down with food. Toward the end of the week I think I'll be at 30 pounds, maybe a little bit less when I'm out of food.